Good day. I'm Ollie Nelson. I'm Racine County Veteran Service Officer. I'm just glad for the opportunity to speak to students, as always. I spent 28 and a half years in the Navy, and I retired from the Navy back in 2010. And throughout that time in the Navy, I did quite a few tours. I've served on 10 different ships. Actually, not 10 different ships, but 10 different deployments on 6 ships, and also seen quite a few places in Japan, Iceland, places of that sort. But today my brief is not about myself. It's more about trying to get some information out to you guys so you can make some informed decision of helping veterans. Some of the things I'll be talking about today is going to be about VA disability compensation. These are some of the benefits that these veterans are entitled to, and talk a little bit more about unemployability, presumptive conditions, and special monthly compensation, and VA non-service connected pension. So we're going to give you a gamut of all the benefits that these veterans are entitled to or should seek out, and I will give you more details on that. Disability compensation is one of our most common pension, and people who get injured in service, are entitled to disability compensation. These benefits are paid out to veterans who might be 10% or 100%, 10% to 100% disability, and the VA would pay that person a compensation. That money is non-taxable. They don't have to claim that in any form on their income tax. That money is free to the veterans because of their service to our country. Who is eligible for that? These are individuals who have served in the military, got injured, and receive an honorable discharge out of service. How does the VA pay that money? The VA normally pay that in the form of a monthly compensation. It paid directly to the veterans. And if you need to find out more information about it, just contact your county veteran service officer. Contact me. You can call my number. Individual unemployability is a form where the individual is unemployable. That means that a person, because of his injury or illness, cannot obtain a job or seek gainful employment. So that individual then is unemployable, and the VA will pay that person at the 100% rate, even though that person might not be getting paid at a 100% compensation rate. So that individual have to be receiving anywhere from 60% disability compensation or 70% disability compensation to even apply for the individual unemployability. The one that I see quite often in my office is a non-service connected pension. We normally apply for normally veterans who apply for those pensions are individuals over the age of 65. Where their expense exceed their income. Normal World War II veterans might only be getting about $1,200 in Social Security retirement benefits, and his expense might be $3,000. So you can see the big offset there. So the VA do a pretty good job of helping those individuals with those expenses. All they have to do is show that they meet the criteria, and the VA will actually pay them the difference. If the individual move into a nursing home and the nursing home is $3,000 a month, the VA might pick up the tab for $2,000. And the presumptive list, and I mentioned earlier about the VA presumptive service-connected disability, and the reason why they use presumptive is because the VA deemed these disability to be service-connected. Such as individual might be considered prisoner of war, Vietnam veteran who were sprayed with Agent Orange or herbicide, which is considered Agent Orange, individual veterans who were served during the atomic period, atomic bomb, and then the Gulf War veterans sometime are on a presumptive list as well. And then there's a special monthly compensation. These are paid to individuals who might lost limbs, hands, eyes, legs, things of that sort, and that's special monthly compensation are paid to them. This is in addition to their regular compensation, so this is just extra money. Then we have a special adaptive equipment grant if an individual need a wheelchair ramp on their vehicle, things of that sort. The VA will help those individuals with that as well. And and also they'll do to help modify. They provide grants to help modify the vehicle. You can buy a vehicle from an individual that already adapted to a wheelchair, but if you have a vehicle that just wants to adapt it to carry a wheelchair, the VA will provide you a grant to cover that as well. And also modification to a house if you need a ramp to get up to the door and things of that sort. So the VA pay for those as well. Homeless veterans, and we've seen quite a few veterans these days who are homeless, and I try my best to help them. Unfortunately, the VA don't help those individuals unless they're homeless or at risk of becoming homeless. That's the unfortunate part about it. But we try to help those individuals with some, maybe a veteran assistance program where they might put them in some kind of housing to get that individual back into society, help that person get some benefits so they have some form of income that's coming in to help them and prevent them from becoming homeless. In the last year or so, I worked with the Kenosha County Veteran Service Officer, Mr. Darrell Green, and we put together a program where we have called a veteran stand down, but it's more geared toward homeless veterans or veterans at risk of becoming homeless. Is to help those individuals, to bring them in, find out exactly what kind of issues they're having, and provide them with resources or assistance on how to get back, to be a stable member of society. The VA sometimes helped in those areas with HUD-VASH. There's a HUD-VASH programs. The current administration has signed over $100 million last year alone to help homeless veterans, to put an end to homelessness amongst veterans. Okay, I don't really work as much into the areas of suicide prevention, but we do provide assistance like the Homeless Veterans Hotline. They pretty much help those individuals if a member might be in some kind of need or counseling. The vet centers as well help in those areas. But in my job I've been in, I don't really see a lot of suicide veterans or suicide ideation, people talking about killing themselves. I know sometimes you might have a person that having a tough time finding employment, and they might, this might be the end of the world, I'm going to be homeless, I'm going to be on the street, I don't know what to do. So pretty much what I do is I turn them over to the veteran counselors, either in the vet center or the VA medical center up in Milwaukee, and they'll try and get those individuals some help or seek some counseling. The non-service connected pension that we mentioned earlier, that's strictly for individuals who are disabled or over the age of 65, but this is a need-based program, so the individual must have some kind of low income, and they can't have a whole bunch of assets to qualify for this program, and they must serve during the wartime period. You have to serve at least one day during the wartime period. Even the family members are eligible for this. The surviving spouse of a veteran, the veteran passed away, and now the surviving spouse is left behind, that individual can apply for this non-service connected pension as well. There's 3 categories in this pension. There's aid and attendance, there's housebound, and also just a regular a veteran who can get along, do things on their own. So those are the 3 different categories. But the aid and attendance pay the most money because most of those individuals are either in a nursing home or into assisted living, or maybe need a caregiver to come to the house and take care of that person. So the VA pay a maximum amount for aid and attendance. So that with a married veteran could be all the way up to close to $2,500. Don't quote me on the exact amount, but it's roughly in that area. Educational benefit are available for veterans. In the state of Wisconsin, there's also the Wisconsin State GI Bill. but that's at the state level. Then you have the federal GI Bill, which is called the Montgomery GI Bill, and some of the new educational benefit is a post 9/11 GI Bill, which is the most attractive educational benefits on the street right now. The state of Wisconsin prefer that an individual exhaust their federal educational benefit prior to seeking out the state benefits. So if you're having federal benefits that's available for our veterans, we prefer that they use those benefits first prior to applying for the state GI Bill. The post 9/11 GI Bill, that's what I mentioned, is very attractive. It offers a monthly housing allowance, so an individual could be going to school and possibly be collecting about $1,200 extra a month that goes in their pocket. And then also has a stipend for books and supply. They pay that $1,000 for the entire year. The Wisconsin Veteran Homes. These are pretty much our state's program, and they're a veteran home that's located in Union Grove. And also these veterans are able to go there, and it's designed for veterans. The priorities for the Wisconsin state veterans to enter that home, and also the VA. Sometimes if you're getting 70% or more in disability compensation, you don't have to pay anything. You're free to go to the Wisconsin Veteran Home at Union Grove or at King, or there's a Chippewa Fall. There's a new home that they're going to be opening up in sometime in February time frame of 2013. So you can point veterans and their family to those homes as well. And then also there's burial benefits. If an individual got out of the military and they served in the military and received a discharge other than dishonorable discharge, or eligible for burial benefits, and they can be buried at any state cemetery or national cemetery free at cost. And they can actually pre-register for that before they get to the point where they're sick. So you can come in my office and fill out a form. We have it on file, so if something happened to a veteran, they don't have to scramble around and try and get all this information at the last minute. And pretty much that's about it on this presentation, but I do have a few things just to talk about, and as you know, new counselors in the field, you're going to run across veterans that's that's going to need help or need assistance. And my thing to you is to make sure you point them to the county veteran service officer, because the county veteran service officer are there to answer any questions that those veterans might have, or help them find those resources that they're looking for. My office is located in Racine, and we operations from 8 a.m. until 5 p.m. Monday through Friday, except for holidays. And we will help veterans. They don't have to make an appointment. They can come and walk in, and we can sit down and help them, or they can make an appointment. We can schedule an appointment and get them in and help them, whatever they're seeking. Just make sure you point them in the right direction, and we'll get them the help they need.